Today's guests have also traded combat boots for wrestling boots and turned discipline and brotherhood into championship gold.
Today we're talking to two men who know how to fight for what they want. The Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions, the Infantry, Shawn and Carlie Bravo.
What's going on, guys? How's it going,
guys?
Chipping, chilling,
guys.
It's life on the road right here. I love
Hey, man, you out here making the rounds, yo.
Oh, we're so thankful to have you guys on. And like I said, when we started this podcast, we were like, we have to talk to Shawn, we have to talk to Carlie Bravo, because they have literally lived the life that thus far on our podcast we have talked about with Steve. And so, Shawn, you were in the Navy. Carlie, you were also in the Marine Corps. And can you share with us what got you into the military, where you were stationed, what your job was, all the things like that?
So for me, when I was in the military, I was in the Navy. I was stationed in Norfolk, Virginia, which is also that's where my mom is from. So I got family ties down in Virginia. You know, shout out to the Tidewater, Virginia Beach. So when I was out there, I was on the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower. I was in the deck department. Right out of boot camp, I went straight to the fleet. Didn't go to any A school or anything like that. I just wanted to get out there and just start going after it. So I made that choice. I was a bosun mate, did all the little grunt work on the ship, chipping the paint, painting the boat, man overboard drills, all that good stuff, So, my time down in Virginia Beach, man, it was very fun. It was good to get connected to my family that was out there, and got that first taste of adult life, man, at a young 18 years old when I went in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Carlie, what about you? When did you join the Marine Corps? What was your job? Where were you stationed? Everything like that.
I joined the Marine Corps when I was 17, right after high school. Terrible. I was stationed in Hawaii, which was Kaneohe Bay, so that was cool. And I did 8 years. I did 5 actives, 3 inactives.
Oh, wow.
What was your MOS?
I was 0330 Marine Corps. Yep, I was 0341, which is a mortarman, and I was 0311 and 0331, which is infantry, regular basic rifleman, and I doubled as a machine gunner, which was awesome.
Oh my gosh! Hell yeah!
There it is. He already know. Yep. Ironically, me and Steve are tied. Like my older Marine, I think his brother was Steve's junior Marine, which is wild. The Plotz brothers.
I remember you told me that in Atlanta the one time. At,
the Plotz brothers. Yep.
Was it Plotz?
So it's Plotz. Yep.
Yeah, Plotz. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So Plotz actually just came to a show with his daughter in Minnesota for TNA, so it was pretty cool to have like a full circle moment there and him in the crowd.
Absolutely.
What a small world.
Bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, dude, it's cool to just have you guys on here just chatting and just, I know I've talked about on the podcast previously of like everything that I wanted out of the Marine Corps, I got. My deployments, I was infantry, everything I ever wanted to do as a kid in the world of the Marine Corps was what I wanted. Did you guys feel like you both got out of everything that you wanted in the military when you did enlist?
For me, I think so. I think for the time that I was in, I did 2 active, 2 reserve. So while I was in, I think all the stuff that I wanted, the benefits, the chance to get out of Chicago and be able to go into a different area and just learn something new about myself while serving the country and receive those benefits so that I could go back to school and go back to school for free and just have a little jump, a little boost to help me into my adult life that I probably didn't get, growing up in the inner city in Chicago and things like that. I was able to accomplish a lot of things. So, for what it was in the Navy, the things that I did and the people that I met and the experiences that I had, it shaped me to become the young man that I was at the time. So, everything that the Navy did for me and instilled in me was all that I could ask for them to do for me at the time.
In hindsight, I got exactly what I needed. At the time, I got way more than I bargained for. I did not expect that. I was young. I went in kind of right after 9/11, a couple years right after that. So we were in active war, you know what I'm saying? And my first duty station, it was like, I got there in August. They was like, hey, y'all deploying in November. And it was no joke. You get what I'm saying? So at the time, I think I was a little overwhelmed, but in hindsight, it's exactly what I needed. 2 tours is a lot for somebody that young. It's a lot for somebody to have to get thrown into. And I was over there for like a year each time. So it was tough. But in hindsight, again, best thing that ever happened to me, I guess it let me know I was exactly who I thought that I was. You know what I'm saying? Which Steve could tell you, Cap could tell you, we bad mother effers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know.
For real. So it really instilled that in me. It was like a brick house of foundation from the person that I actually became, 100%.
Yeah, that's awesome because I feel like you give so much time and you sacrifice so much of your lives with your families and your brotherhood. You lose so many people you love serving. And so I think that to be now out for, as long as you guys have been, to be as successful as you are, I think, to know that you look back on those times fondly and can see that it was what you needed at that time is so reassuring to us. But then I think also the veteran community needs more voices that think that way. And, we just got off an interview with the one of the executives of Grunt Style. And, to know that you guys are representing the military every time you walk through the curtain at AEW, you are the current Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions. And so, you're shedding the same light that I think Steve is in the military community in your own ways. And so, I think that making that transition is exactly what we wanted to talk about on this podcast as a whole. So again, thank you guys for sharing that.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously, you guys being 6-man tag team champions, and it's like, that's a big break. So, like, did you guys feel this chemistry right off the bat together? Because I know, like, we can get in a room together and we can just shoot the shit just because we can talk military and then even being wrestling fans. But it's like, we already have the chemistry there for me to join the group at some point, or you guys to join the group over here.
Right.
We have those crossbreeds at some point, which will be fun. At some point, never say never in pro wrestling.
Never say never.
You two, did you feel, and even which, just as the group of the infantry, did you feel that chemistry right off the bat? And was that always your goal to be the infantry or just to be something else?
Well, because when you guys got to AEW, you tagged like a bit one off. It wasn't until like years later that you became the infantry, right?
Yeah. So
Kind of.
it's kind of like that. Like we never went into thinking that we were going to be a tag team. We didn't know that until Cody and QT kind of paired us together during the pandemic. And yeah, we did like some one-off things and things like that. But I think that once me and Bravo kind of met each other and we got to know each other, it was like it made sense. It was peanut butter and jelly at that point. We just clicked, and then our backgrounds is just so similar. I tell Bravo all the time, man, he's my wildest thoughts said out loud, and I'm a reserved, more laid back version of him. So when we get together, it's like, it's a recipe for greatness, and it can be a recipe for disaster, just depending on what the situation calls for, So I think that, just us being an infantry and putting that together, that was just something that was God. That was God given right there, and it just happened to be us being at the right place at the right time. And we started making waves.
Ironically, I was brought to AEW to be Cap's tag partner. Weirdly
enough. Really?
But they didn't. Like my first time in AEW, they put me with Cap, right? With the idea of let's show Tony this group that Cody came up with. Tony didn't buy it at first, I don't think. I think because we didn't have our footing, we were still trying to figure it out.
We both was new, we both were new.
It was brand new, you know what I'm saying? So we had to figure it out. The one-offs was really just he had different partners. I would be on different random mixed tags, but they always kept putting us back together, and we just kept it rolling. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that my intention when I started wrestling, I didn't know Cap. Like I knew of him, but my intention wasn't to be in a tag team. So for it to click the way it did, it was like, oh, why work twice as hard? This is just what we need to be doing. It makes no sense. Yeah, man. It was perfect. It was perfect. Probably the best thing that ever happened to me as far as in wrestling.
In wrestling, yeah.
Surely.
That's the best thing when it comes to tag teams too, because I love tag wrestling. I tagged forever with me and Blake and the Forgotten Sons, and even before that, we were trying to be POS in our time in NXT. And that's the fun part, is where you can not have to say a word, but you already know what the other person's thinking. Yeah, and that's the cool thing for dynamic and creativity. So like when you guys started getting this traction of becoming the infantry, and what was the driving force for the gear, the look, what made you want to dive into that side of the war?
So, and Bravo will tell you too, I think our thing was that, we're heavily influenced. We grew up in the 2000s, you know what I'm saying? So our big Dipset and all the 2000s, 50 Cent, No Limit, all that kind of Cash Money. So that was like our thing, and back then those guys were rappers, but a lot of those guys would wear like fly camo, you know what I'm saying? Or the American flag as like a full coat, a full suit, you know what I'm saying? So for us, that was like, that's our style, that's how we came up. So that's kind of music we listen to. It's our vibe. And it's just that so happened that we have the military background. So we incorporated a little camo, and then we just throw like some wild colors into it to give it that little gritty street feel to it. And, that's how you get the infantry,
Once we kind of figured out that, like, all right, cool. Like, it was kind of obvious because even when we were presented with each other, it was like, hey, this guy salutes, this guy salutes, this guy's doing this, guy's doing this. So it kind of fit, right? So that was obviously like the foundation for how it was going. So it was like, all right, cool. So we got to run with this military thing. Let's always wear camo, which to this day, no matter what we wear, we always got camo on still. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, okay, cool. Once we figured out the camo thing, what's our name? Well, what do you do? Who goes to war? Infantry go to war.
Infantry.
And I was in infantry. I was like, Steve, you already know infantry. Yeah. So it just fit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's so funny because 100%. Everything you guys are saying, I'm
the complete opposite. When my time in WWE, they're like, oh, we want you to be like the Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Hulk Hogan. I'm like, that doesn't work. Like, I want to be more real, more genuine to like the actual like vet that is out there nowadays, because you can wave the flag all you want and go, oh, it's like, no, that doesn't work no more. It's like, how can I be realistic and go to comic book characters and the best version I stole from now? I'm like, I want to put that on television. That's me. I can put myself into those shoes. I've always been one that's always stayed away from wearing camouflage. So good on you, brothers, for doing that. Because the only time I've worn camo was my one set of gear for Rebellion when I won the world title was when I took my camis and incorporated it into my gear, which I like because I never wanted to be that full-fledged, but like I commend you guys for doing it because it works.
I wore the camis once.
Yes, you did.
I represented the USA at the AAA World Cup in 2023, and I had said to Steve, like, it's 2 matches and I want to wear something different. And do you think, would it be okay if I wore the camis you wore in Afghanistan as like kind of my jacket to the ring? And he was like, 1000%. I think it's his favorite gear I've ever worn. Yeah. So I think I have a better claim to be an infantry.
You do. Yeah.
I would say now if you're a Trisket, workout someday, of course you're welcome to,
It's so funny you say that because I've worn camis once before. I represented Team USA in the AAA World Cup a few years ago, and I knew we were getting into the second match, and I was like, I want to wear something different. Like I want to have something different to wear the second time. And I was so nervous to ask Steve, like, do you think it would be okay if maybe, would you give me a set of your camis that you wore in Afghanistan and could I wear that to the ring? And he was like, 1000%. I think it's your favorite gear that I've ever worn up until this point. But I think I have more of a claim to be in infantry than you do since I wear the camo.
Hey, yo.
I'm gonna beat Trish in the tour, and then I'm taking her spot.
If you handle that, then hey, we might have to open the door. You know what I'm saying?
No, was wrestling something you guys always wanted to get into? Like, were you wrestling fans growing up, or did it just kind of fall in your lap post-military?
So for me, yes, I was a wrestling fan as a kid. Like my dad had us watching wrestling probably from as far as I can remember it being like 5-6 years old. And as I got older, I was a big football guy. So I always would play football or baseball, but mostly football. And when football just wasn't working out for me and I kind of still wanted to compete but not play football as much anymore, that's when wrestling came around. And I got back into wrestling around like 2013, 2014. And my mind was blown on just I didn't know anything about like independent wrestling or New Japan, ROH, all these other different avenues of wrestling. Then before I only knew just of the big companies, So to be able to immerse myself into this different field of learning about the indies and learning about all the different avenues of wrestling, it lit a fire in me to want to start training. And I think I started training like in Chicago in 2017 with I met AR Fox, and that's how I kind of got into wrestling in general, was on the independent scene, and moved out to Atlanta. And then once I moved to Atlanta, the rest was history after that. I got all the training and the networking I needed to be to make myself be ready to do this at a high level.
Yeah, that's awesome, because I feel like, you were in AEW, you both have been in AEW from like the very beginning. And you also now, Shawn, are the extra talent coordinator. And so how did that come about? Correct. Like, you go to a company and I'm going to be a wrestler. And now you're also kind of office now too. And so I guess, we were wondering, like, I was WWE extra talent extraordinaire. Like, I made a living basically being extra talent for a while. And so it was always been interesting to me, and I wanted to ask, what do you look for specifically when it comes to booking female and male talent?
So when I first got presented with to be an extra coordinator for AEW, it was through Cody and QT and Brandy, and at first they were saying, hey, when you do this, you might not be able to wrestle. But of course, you know, as a competitor, I'm never going to take, you know, that as a final answer. So I wanted to make sure that on my extra side of the work, the things that I was doing as a coordinator, I wanted to make sure that was in top notch, that I was doing what I need to do to succeed in that, so that when I focus more of my attention on the wrestling side, that I can do that. And with doing that, as being an extra coordinator, man, I try to look at different talent from an aspect that I'm out here doing it too. So I'm looking at what sets you apart from what we already have on the roster, or what sets you apart from what's in wrestling in general. So your gear got to be on point. You know, your fundamentals got to be sound. You got to be able to, if someone puts you in a situation if your move is a drop kick, you better be able to hit the best drop kick you can hit. You know what I mean? So it's just being able to find people who are TV ready, that understand, that can listen, that are coachable, and that can maximize their opportunities. Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the things I look to, especially for men coming up now, like men talent. You know, we have so many men on our roster that can do amazing things. But what sets you apart? What sets you apart that you can do that Ricochet can't do? Or do you sell in a way that Darby can't sell? Are you doing things that, if you're a big man, are you a big man that can stand out over Big Bill? You know, so it's just those things. Those are what I look for, and that's what I look at. And on the women's side, you know, same thing. What sets you apart from a Toni Storm? You know, to me, I think that like a Toni Storm is like such a standard because she has her fundamentals are down packed, but now her character is so crazy. You know what I mean? So when I look at that, I want to. What do you bring to the table that we don't have, and that we can put you in a spot that if you was to get an opportunity that you can stand out?
Definitely. Yeah. And it is hard because I feel like in AEW for us, but then also for TNA, you know, rosters are packed. There's so many great talent today. And yeah, to stand out, it's hard. But that's just because I was extra talent for so long. What a crazy job I feel like that is to have.
And even on the indies, when I'm running seminars, like people are like, oh, how do I get to WWE? I'm like, go to college and be an NIL athlete. Like, how do I get to AEW or TNA? It's like, get really over on the indies and build a name, or just do a really cool move at one point that goes viral. Like there's no answer anymore in the world.
No real, and I tell people that too, man, and that's true. It's really not. It's really no true answer, because at the end of the day, even over there, you know, it's Tony. It's Tony's final say so, and over there is probably, you know, Triple H or whoever runs the thing over there. You know what I'm saying? It's their final say so, so it's what they're looking for. All I try to give you is what I think and what I see is getting that nobody's doing. If you're doing something that nobody else is doing, you're standing out. You're a diamond in the rough. You just need the right opportunity to be able to present that. But if you're doing the same thing and trying to mimic everything that everybody's doing, you're not standing out. You're just another person, another rung on the reel. You know?
Absolutely.
That's what everything comes down to, is just standing out. And even in the military, it takes those moments to stand out too. Like, you're trying to pick up rank, you're trying to just kind of look good, or you're a good team leader, or you just try to find those different ways. And like, just to go back towards the military side of things, like, you guys have had all this success in pro wrestling, but it's like, now you look back on your military career, and what advice would you probably give yourselves or somebody now that is transitioning into the civilian world from those combat boots, and then coming into the civilian world, whether it's wrestling, be an entrepreneur, a TikToker now, like an influencer, like there's so many different avenues to go. It's like, what advice would you give that person now?
I'd say probably just keep going. That's probably the biggest thing. You can probably do anything that you want to do. When I got out, they do like what you're good at in the civilian world, right? So because I was in the infantry, the only thing that they gave me was a security job. All they said, I had no skills. I just do paperwork. I couldn't drive a car. They was like, hey, you know what you'll be real good at? Security work. And that's all they offered me, you know? From there, I went and became a chef, and I went and started this wrestling thing. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. You're not by yourself, you know? It can feel that way sometimes. especially leaving the service. One of my biggest things for leaving the service was I felt like I left all my family that I had just made from such a young age. You get what I'm saying? Like these people that I was with for 5-6 years, they became my family. Now I got to relocate and go back home. And at my age, I was a totally different person that was home than that left home, So it can feel lonely. It can feel like, insurmountable. You don't know where it's going to be next, or if you even know how to do what it is that you want to do. There's people out there that are with it. There's people out there that'll help you, and just keep going. You're not by yourself. This wrestling thing, especially with me, Trish, and Cap, all of us being veterans, that has shown me that there are, weirdly enough, other people who are exactly like you, trying to do the exact same thing. And if you keep going in your purpose, you'll find them. Just keep doing it.
Yeah. I mean, and that kind of ties into something else I wanted to talk to you about, Bravo, was just about 3 years ago in 2022, you made this tweet, and it said, "Tonight I told my mom I recently quit my job to become a full-time wrestler. It broke my heart to see the fear in her eyes when she looked at my kids and wondered if I put their futures in jeopardy. I assured her that this would work. I can't fail. I refuse to fucking lose." And so do you feel like all of this has been worth it, that you did do it? And, especially becoming 6-man tag team champions this past August, like that must have been the ultimate validation for all those transitions you're talking about.
100 trillion, billion, million, fulfillion, zillion percent. I don't even know there's other illions I could throw on there, but yes, 100% worth it. Terrifying in that, but like I said, moving in your purpose, right? I fully believe that this is what I was supposed to do, especially at that time. And it took a lot for me to walk away from what I was doing to come do this, just because I was just trying to figure it out any way that I could, right? So as a veteran, you finally get on some steady ground, and now you're talking about taking another major risk. That's terrifying, So it was well worth it. The 6-man titles were definitely a cap on, but I think this last 2 years have been more life letting me know that we're in the right way. You know what I'm saying? The way that the job is treating us, the way our popularity has grown, the people that we're working with, we're wrestling the Hardy Boys, we're wrestling the Good Brothers, and they love us. You know what I'm saying? Outside of wrestling, they're walking up on us, giving us big hugs and all that other stuff. So it's like, okay, like maybe I found my niche. You know what I'm saying? My mom is more proud of me than anybody on the planet. My kids is more proud of me. So it lets me know reassuringly that I did exactly what I was supposed to do. And I ain't half-stepped with it, which was the biggest piece. You got to go all in with stuff like this. You know what I'm saying?
It's no other way. You got to. When I started and I moved down to Atlanta 2017, I left everything I knew. My daughter's 17 now. She was like 10. She was 10 when I left and moved down to Atlanta. I left that, left my family. I left everything I knew to come out here to Atlanta and to go on this journey. And I think that's a big thing and that I can tell veterans or just anybody. When you take a gamble and you bet on yourself, you have no choice but to succeed because you don't want to let yourself down. So the more you take those risks and also network and meet the right people and put yourself in the right rooms and surround yourself with people who are supporting your dream and supporting your purpose. And I'm telling you, there's nothing that you can't do. It's also, really nothing you can't do.
I think I speak for Cap too. We'd have never been able to pull this off without the military. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of the lessons that I learned tact. I learned timeliness. I learned how to be prompt. I learned how to do hard work.
Leadership.
Discipline. Leadership.
Hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait is the biggest thing in pro wrestling. I try to tell you.
Bravo will tell you right now. I am probably the most. I think that's probably why I keep a good job. I'm the most patient person on the planet, just because I just feel like when the time is right, the time is right. And you just got to be ready at all times. So I never try to put a time frame on anything that I do or any type of path of success. I just know that if we continue to keep working hard, it's gonna happen. You just might have to wait a little bit, but it's gonna happen. If you can wait, it's gonna happen.
If you can wait 2 hours on a helo to come pick you up out of a hostile environment, terrified, right?
Yeah.
Then you can wait on a wrestling match.
You can wait.
Good.
Oh, we have a 10-minute seg, and then you're about to go out the curtain. Hey, you guys got 6 minutes? Cool, awesome, thank you. Yeah.
No worries.
Sweet, no worries.
Today I didn't want to work out, and Steve goes like, "Do you think I wanted to go to combat?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Do what you got to do.
Having that perspective, obviously living with someone who has been in those hostile environments, has had to hurry up and wait, and it has put a lot of perspective in my life in terms of the patience I can have. And if I set my mind to something and I'm disciplined about it, then I know that I can achieve it. And so, I don't want to take any more of your guys' time because I know you're flying out tonight. But we are so grateful to have you, so grateful for your perspective. And everything you guys have talked about today is exactly what we wanted Boots to Boots to be. We wanted it to be a place for veterans to talk about their positive experiences and how they've regained their identity in this world. That was my inspiration bringing this to Steve. And you guys are like exemplary examples of that. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you're a voice and you're an example of it with your continued success. I'm proud of you guys. I love that I've got to meet you guys years ago and then see the progress you've made and where you guys are at in your career now. And I couldn't be prouder enough. Never know. You never know. Never say when in pro wrestling.
Hey, man.
We get together. You never know when.
Don't get our hopes up.
Hey, don't tempt me with a good time, baby.
Steve, you the man. We love you. Deonna, sis, we love you. Thank you guys for having us. This was an honor. Anytime. We love talking about stuff like this. So anytime you guys need us, man. And hey, keep that front face toward enemy, baby. We ain't playing.
Always playing this next.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Love.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Please like, subscribe, and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boots to Boots. We'll be talking to you.
Addie Soldier.
It's Marie.